Oklahoma City Thunder continues to add to its stockpile of first-round picks. I'm Mike Sherman here with Thunder beat writer Darnell Mayberry, and we're here to talk about Oklahoma City's acquisition of Denver Nuggets point guard Chucky Atkins. With Chucky Atkins comes a first-round pick in next year's draft, and the Thunder sends center Johan Petro to Denver. What's behind this trade?
Well, I think it does a couple of things. First and foremost, it gives you a first-round draft pick. That's the biggest thing that it does for this team. They now have 3 first-round draft picks in 2009. Whether they use them all, who knows? But it gives you leverage going into that June draft. Secondly, it balances your roster. When they acquired Nenad Kristic, they had 8 big men, post players, when you count power forwards and centers. So this eliminates one of your post players, gets you a point guard. Most teams like to have 3 point guards. This gives you your third point guard in Chucky Atkins. And then thirdly, it gives you an experienced player, an experienced veteran. Chucky's a 10-year veteran who can play behind Russell Westbrook, alongside Russell Westbrook. So I think it gives them sort of more flexibility that they can have, the coach Scott Brooks can have with his rotation patterns. And then lastly, if they're not done making trades, which I don't think anybody thinks that they are, it gives them leverage. If they want to try to move Earl Watson, it gives them leverage and another backup point guard just in case they want to move Earl Watson.
Darnell, who is Chucky Atkins?
Again, he's a 10-year veteran. He's been in this league a while. He's been sort of a journeyman, mostly a reserve point guard, but he is capable of playing decent minutes as a starter if need be. You know, if Russell Westbrook goes down late in the season or with an injury at some point, he can come in and step in as your starter. Now, he won't put up great numbers, but he's flexible, he can shoot the ball, and he's a great floor leader. So the fact that he's an experienced player, I think that's going to help this team.
Do you think this really sort of precipitates a trade of Earl Watson?
It's hard to say. You know, Earl Watson's making about $6 million this year. So, I mean, it's hard to say that it precipitates a trade for him. It's going to be hard to trade that kind of contract. He's got that much next year as well. So it definitely gives them leverage. If they had a deal out there for Earl Watson, it doesn't have to be as attractive now because they have Chucky Atkins as insurance, but it definitely helps them if they're looking to go down that road.
What do they lose in Petro? Anything?
Not much. I mean, he wasn't playing. He sort of lost. He was out of favor. He wasn't in the doghouse, but he was just had guys playing better than him, and Chris Wilcox, Nick Collison when he was healthy, Joe Smith, and Robert Swift was coming on. So, and then the fact that they had added Nenad Kristic, Johan Petro was on the outside looking in. He was only getting basically spot minutes, if not garbage time minutes. So, you know, you don't lose much. He was a young center, 22. Now, that's the trade-off. He's 22. Maybe he is going to grow into the player people thought he would be when he was a high draft pick in the first round. But, you know, I don't think this team saw that, and I think they just sort of, I don't want to say gave up on him, but, I mean, this deal was, I think, too good to pass up.
Okay, 3 first-round picks in the 09 draft. The 09 draft class is led by OU's Blake Griffin, and the Thunder, as currently in the standings, in the lottery, would have a 1 in 4 chance of getting that number 1 pick. Does this third first-round pick give them leverage in case they don't win the lottery and they want to trade up to the first spot? Can they deal 2 picks, 3 picks to get the number 1?
They can. I don't think you'd see that. A lot of people are high on Blake Griffin, so whoever has that number 1 pick, that could be a number 1 pick, especially if Blake Griffin goes into conference play and you know the tournament, the NCAA tournament, playing extremely well and even boosting his stock even more. So you know, I don't think whoever gets that number 1 pick is going to be, you know, all that enthused about trying to trade away that pick. What you might see is these 3 picks could lead to, you know, either a trade for next year's draft pick. You can get a future first rounder, say in next year's draft. You see that a lot with teams. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that come June.
Okay, thanks, Darnell. To read more about this deal and all things Oklahoma City Thunder, stay with the best coverage team anywhere, every day at newsok.com and every morning in the Oklahoman.